Have you ever wondered if angels read and write? Maybe you're someone who loves getting lost in a good book, or perhaps reading isn't your thing. But if heaven is a realm of divine wisdom, does it have libraries and books or even writing at all? What might the written word look like in the spiritual world? Well, if you've been following along with our series, you already know that heaven is both familiar and profoundly different. So what's the answer? Well, yes, there are written materials in heaven. But they're far more than just ink on paper. They are living expressions of wisdom, love, and divine truth. In heaven, writing isn't just about words, it's about meaning. We have a sense of this when we try to read the Old Testament in its original form, because the Hebrew words have so much more meaning than we ever seem to be able to capture in the English. And in the spiritual world, it's no different. Its thoughts and affections are brought to life in a way that we can barely imagine. So let's explore this incredible topic together. Welcome back to our ongoing series on Emanuel Swedenborg's extraordinary journey through heaven and hell. I'm Howard, an ordained minister and student of Swedenborg's writings. Swedenborg tells us that angels do have books and pages and even written words just like we do. But their writing isn't learned or practiced. It flows effortlessly from their thoughts, appearing as naturally as speech. Imagine writing something down with ever needing to think about the words. Is that how you spell that? Does the I come before the E? In the spiritual world, each letter captures more meaning than an entire book can contain. And that's how writing works in heaven. In those highest heavens, this writing isn't even made of letters. It's formed from beautiful flowing curves and bends that perfectly reflect the wisdom of the angels. In those lower heavens, written words look more like what you and I might recognize, but they're filled with meaning that goes beyond what our human minds can grasp. In fact, Swedenborg describes being given a page from heaven. And though he could read it, he was only allowed to understand a small portion of its meaning. Why? Well, because the deepest truths aren't meant to be learned just from reading them. They have to be lived and experienced and allowed to open within us. So what can we learn from how writing works in heaven? We're not in heaven. We don't read from heaven. But is there a way that we can make this useful in our own lives? Well, first, it reminds us that words, they have power. And just like in heaven, the way we speak and write flows from who we are. What we say and how we say it matters. It reflects our intentions, our hearts, and the kind of life that we are living. Second, it teaches us that wisdom isn't just about knowledge, it's about transformation. In heaven, writing isn't just for recording facts. It is a living expression of truth and love. Here on earth, we often get caught up in gathering information, but real wisdom is when what we learn shapes how we live. And finally, it reminds us that true meaning runs deeper than the surface. Just as heavenly writing holds layers and layers of divine truth, the words we encounter in sacred texts, especially the word, carry meaning beyond what meets the eye. When we read with an open heart, we begin to see beyond the words themselves and into the deeper spiritual truths they hold. So today, think about the words you speak, the thoughts you write, and the wisdom that you seek. Are your words filled with love and truth? Are you letting what you learn transform your life? Because in heaven, words are more than just letters on a page. They are expressions of the soul.